What is going on, guys? It's Adam aka Marf. Today's show, we are going to be talking about, of course, the middle E. We're going to be talking about gates. We're going to be talking about a whole lot of stuff, including what commanders are saying right now. We're also going to be talking about the greed and the disgustingness of pretty much everything around us. We'll be right back right after this.
Turning into some noodles, turn yourself into some Marfoogle. If your brain turning into some noodles,
Remember, nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of myself, Dex, or anyone else on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. All right, now that we have that out of the way, my name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today, we're going to be covering a whole wide range of stuff. So remember, you can actually follow along on our website, marfooglenews.com. Now, when you go to marfooglenews.com, it's very easy to navigate. You just look for today's thumbnail, greed, and you will get the appropriate show notes. In fact, we make a bibliography of every single thing that we show you here today, whether it's a tweet, a picture, a video, an article, or even an archived document. It's going to be there on our website. It's even searchable through our website, so you can end up going back a year later or 10 years later and find the exact story that we covered here. Now, on top of that, on the bottom, there's going to be web-only content that you can only access through our website. It is stuff that basically we can't cover neutrally. I do believe that most of this I should be covering in a neutral stance. Of course, I have my opinions, but again, and I don't think there is such a thing as a news outlet that is unopinionated completely. But I think that it should be mostly that way. Again, you should be sharing, what the facts are and try to look at it and see what's going on. On the right side, if you do want to support us in any way, we are truly independent. We do not have a multi-channel network. You guys are our backbone. So your support is very much appreciated. Of course, every day that we put in is, it's obviously, it's another day that you guys get the service of this. So thank you, and thank you for everybody that's been with us so far. All right, let's bring in my co-host / internet brother, Dex. What is going on today, and how are you doing?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
Now, there's a lot to go over here, but Dex, before I go into this first article here, I did want to ask you, what is the official date of the Congress report coming out? Do you have that?
My understanding is it's June 1st. Everything I looked up said June 1st. We've had official dates like this in the past, and they've tend to slip. So I think a lot of people just refer to the month of June because the report may be done, but it may not actually be presented by that time. So that's my guess. But I would just be looking June 1st into the month of June.
So if you've been under a rock or you're new to the channel and probably don't follow this kind of news, there is of course, a report that's supposed to go to Congress about all of the UFO activity. Some think it's going to be massive, the disclosure of a lifetime, that we're all going to find out that we're not alone and it's going to change the world. And then some think that it's going to be a highly redacted kind of just more of what we've already gotten, which the information that we already have is pretty much like how they could go around it without saying it in every possible way. We even had an official say that we have recovered things from outer space, even a craft from outer space. And if the public knew what it was, it would change the world as we know it. And it's like, how do you say something like that and, that specific but that vague at the same time? What do you guys think, though? I'd love to get your input on this. This is a pretty simple question. Do you believe that there is life outside of our planet? If so, press 1. If not, press 2. Again, it's pretty, and this is talking about alien life, not angels, not God, not anything else, just life outside this planet. 1 for yes and 2 for no. I'll actually, I'll try to turn on the chat there for a second, see if we can, yeah. So check this out. It says bombshell UFO report. U.S. military encounters UFOs every day that far exceed its tech and capabilities. So this article actually goes into, of course, an explosive report featured on CBS News 60 Minutes, featured several former U.S. military officials who talked about the U.S. government knows about unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAP, more commonly referred to as UFOs. The segment comes ahead of a report that the military is supposed to deliver an unclassified report to Congress by next month. So this is coming down to a month away, which is pretty insane. By the way, tons and tons of really quite divided down the middle. I was surprised to see all of the twos. It's really a lot of both. So obviously you have pretty much people divided in almost every argument right now. And then it says the segment comes ahead of a report that the military, of course, is supposed to deliver. And it also says that the segment also documented a case from 2004 where two U.S. Navy pilots with the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group were training about 100 miles southwest of San Diego and encountered a UAP that they claimed descended 80,000 feet in a matter of only seconds. The pilots said that when they got close to the object after tracking it, that it disappeared because of the speed that it was unable to accelerate. So our technology, our jets, our military had no chance catching up to this thing. It was so fast that it was just gone. It was gone in the matter of seconds, or maybe it just disappeared. It had some sort of cloaking technology. Now, most people, if they are not under that rock, have seen this video, of course. The video is actually quoting basically this clip that has gone world viral. Almost anybody and everybody has seen this, where it's got the Tic Tac that's jumping around and flying around, and they're saying basically, what the hell is that? And then this report, though, of course, goes over these high-ranking officials, and they're all saying that they are seeing this every day. Now, I reported when we first started the military basically telling everybody that is under their command to start reporting all sightings directly to their superiors. Now, before, you would not do that. In the military, especially in the Navy, if you saw something in the sky, if it was a UFO or something like that, you would keep that to yourself because you want to keep your job. Most people, of course, were looked at like they were crazy. Just a couple years ago, I was covering this when they changed that rule broadly. They said, we want to know absolutely anything and everything you see up in the sky. At that point, it was more geared toward, like, people were like, well, they're probably doing that because China and Russia have new technology that they're trying to catch. Now, they're saying that this is beyond anything, right? So it does, give possible credence to a lot of the people that have been talking about secret space programs that have been going for, 30, 40 years. Do we have technology? Do we have free energy? Do we have all this stuff? Just the public doesn't know about it yet. A lot of people are starting to believe that, yes, we have technology that can, do these kind of speeds and do this kind of acceleration. I almost think that hand in hand, maybe something could go that fast or even beyond hypersonic, beyond anything, maybe even go a light year. I think the one thing that they would have to look at is how to protect the human person traveling with it, because of the G-forces and things like that. That's why...
Speaking of G's, if you go back in the beginning of that article where they have the newsworthy quotes directly out of the 60-minute segment, there's something in there about G forces. The first quote and maybe like the third, fourth, and fifth quote are really good.
It says, hold on. There's Chris Mellon. By the way, this has at least 3 different people that they have their quotes here. Let's see here. It says Ryan Graves, former Navy pilot lieutenant, on how often the U.S. military encounters UAPs on the East Coast, says every day for at least a couple of years. That is really actually telling that he said for at least a couple of years.
So does that let you think about something that may have happened in the last couple of years that has caused this? Did we open up a portal? Did we do something, I don't know, over at CERN, right? I don't know.
I turned
question to ask.
I turned the echo on perfectly for you to say. Can you spell that one more time?
CERN.
So, okay, I actually think it might even be less and more obvious than that. The CERN could be a thing, but do you remember we had a interstellar visitor that, oddly, Oumuamua came real close to Earth and then sped up and left? Since then, and when that came through, I had to say it. I said, what if they dropped something off? What if they swooped through, dropped something off, and then sped off to wherever they were coming from? All I said back then was like, it's really weird. If you know about what Oumuamua did and the argument that's been going on for a couple years now they say at first it was a cigar shape, then it was this, and now they say it might be more like a pancake. I don't know why they're doing all that, but one thing for sure is it came through, and if you look at the actual trajectory on a 3D basis, it came in and it went really close to Earth and then all of a sudden sped up. Now, they had some scientific explanation through that. I don't think it was like the slingshot effect or something, but it was some other one, and it sounded like it made sense. But at the same time, it was going so fast. It's the first interstellar object, and they nicknamed it Scout. That's what really got us too. Like, I was talking to Jacob Israel back then, and it was just both of us were like mind-boggled that they named it Scout. Like, if you think about that, that's the first one from that, out of our solar system, apparently, allegedly. And this thing is first, and they call it Scout, and then it speeds up as it leaves. People were super confused. Even Harvard professors were saying, I think this might be a UFO. I think we shouldn't rule it out. So this is, who knows? Either way, even if it's totally fake and this is a setup for the biggest fake disclosure ever, we're still going to be living in a world where the mass majority and mainstream is going to be saying that UFOs are real and that we are not alone. This may change everything. It may change it for the worse. It may change it for the better. Who knows? Everybody goes back to that Reagan quote where it's like, well, what it would be if all of us could just join forces, and if there was some sort of power greater than the Earth, some interstellar enemy that we all teamed up against. Is that the play here? Like, is there going to be an enemy from outside the planet and we all get together and go under one rule and say, hey, F all of this separation and dividedness. Let's get together and fight those aliens. Like some sort of, battlefield alien movie or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to go over to the chat here in a second.
Real quick, while you're doing that, I just want to hit the tech stuff here. 600 to 700 Gs, they admitted. 13,000 miles per hour. Able to go from 20,000 feet to 80,000 feet and drop right back down to 20,000 feet or down to the deck level.
And just to highlight this, 600 to 700 Gs. And what do we feel on an average flight? Like 6 Gs or 1 G or 2? I mean, an average jet.
I think training is like 10 for jet pilots.
That might be for Space Force or leaving the planet. We're talking about 600 to 700 G forces that can fly 13,000 miles an hour, basically as fast as an asteroid, as fast as a hypersonic missile. Which, oddly enough, that the Starlink system now has, now they've admitted that they have a sensor that is meant to sense things going this fast. Something's going to come together. I feel like we are at the precipice of just everything falling into place. Whether it be, hopefully it doesn't fall into place and everybody, I think that we're about to be shocked. I don't know. It's like they've led up to this so much that people are expecting it. That's the thing. Maybe it makes sense that the last 3 years they've bombarded us with asteroid and space and alien and UFO stuff because they were trying to kind of ease us into this. And then they hit us with the full-on, real or fake disclosure. And then, of course, everybody either teams up or does something. Again, lots of craziness. Total Vagabonds, thank you for coming in hot early. Thank you, says the Emerald Isle says hi. Well, thank you, Total Vagabond, and thank you for super chatting over on YouTube. Bluegrass Red May, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for subscribing. If you do subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out, and if you press a like, you will get good karma. I made that up. You might. I mean, you could. Very most likely will. I can almost guarantee it. Almost. Let's see here. Fergadocious says, no medical bills, Mason. Winning. Conspiracy Scamp says, yes, seeking truth. A lot of people has told me that they believe time is speeding up. Oh my gosh. So I think we will do a show on it. I was blasted away. Dex, did you see the poll that I did? It was over 5,000 votes. And
Yes.
it was basically asking people if they felt like time was speeding up, and like not just regular speeding up, not like, oh, you're getting older and as you get older, time speeds up. They actually have explanations for a lot of that, but I'm talking about like unusually fast. Like you snap your finger and it's like, whoa, it was just Friday, now it's Friday again. Like the whole week passes by extremely fast. So my wife even said just even 3 or 4 weeks ago, she started noticing, she's like, it's just going so fast. It's incredible. It's like, and I started noticing it. And then when we asked, it was every comment. And I swear to you, when you go through, there's 1,000 comments, and every one of them are people not only relating, but relating so deeply that they're like, this is unbelievable. Like people were freaked out. They're like, I'm kind of freaked out you asked this. I have been thinking this for the last month. So many people right here. So again, the question was, do you feel like time has been speeding up unbelievably fast just for whatever reason? Like more than just like, oh, you're having fun or you're getting old. Because as you do get older, it does tend to speed up. The scientific research, some say that it is because you've experienced everything so many times that your brain does not get stimulus as much, and therefore your brain kind of forgets it as it goes. So if you've done the same thing every day for a week, it kind of logs it in there as one day, and then it makes it seem like it's faster. But people are saying that the day is speeding by and the weeks are speeding by so unbelievably fast that their kids notice it. That was the biggest comment on that post. And I'm telling you, there was over 1,000 people that weighed in on that. There was 5,000 votes, and over 80% of them, 4,000 people said it is speeding up. The comments on that are freaky. People were freaked out that I even asked because everybody is feeling it. A lot of people just said, yes. It's just super quick. Why would that be? Well, one idea that I am going to try to do is get out and try to ask somebody. I have University of Washington near me. I want to try to get a hold of somebody who has the appropriate degrees, who might be, psychologically smart enough to answer this question, or somebody in physics or somebody in theology or somebody that is well educated that I could ask about this and say, hey, is there something here, or are people crazy? There's actual studies into it, so I'm going to try to bring those into the video too. I think it's worth asking because enough people were absolutely, just dumbfounded by it. Now, this is, of course, the new Pentagon Papers. Bombshell report claims DOD is operating 60,000 troops strong secret army. People got removed for saying this kind of stuff a couple of years ago. People got removed for saying that some of these, dark projects that were going on that they had soldiers that were on no lists. I talked about this 2.5 years ago, that there was some sort of secret army. These people are basically nameless. It says the force allegedly engages in operations abroad and on U.S. soil, and if its existence is confirmed, would violate numerous U.S. laws, as well as the Geneva Conventions on the Rules of Armed Conflict. It says the U.S. military is operating a 60,000 troop strong secret army without any congressional oversight, so nobody is watching this thing. It says spending at least $900 million on the program annually. A bombshell report by Newsweek alleges, citing that the results of a 2-year investigation. The magazine's report said to be based on dozens of Freedom of Information Act requests. The analysis of 1,600 resumes and job postings and interviews with several persons involved suggests that this secret army carries out operations across the U.S. and abroad, both online and offline, that its tasks include defeating increasingly complex technologies. Does this remind you of something? I'll pull up a picture here to maybe spark some imagery here in your brain. Maybe, maybe just a little bit, just a little bit, just a tiny little little bit. I don't know. Or are these spies?
It also goes hand in hand with that recent IP Internet Protocol database of IP addresses that was handed off to a third party. Right? Remember that went down about a month ago, or it was announced about a month ago. It happened
and
the last day of the administration.
Yes, and what day it was, right? Because it was
literally the last day of the last administration.
Yes. Was it the 20th?
The final hour.
Yeah.
It was like that morning, right before.
So it was on the 20th of January. That hour, there was a story that came out, and this has been confirmed. The Pentagon handed off to a secretive office a chunk of its server space, and the address, wasn't it like above like a dry cleaning place or something?
Yeah, it was in a building, a banking building or something in Florida, but it was internet addresses. In other words, a root level set of addresses that was so big, it was bigger than, like 3 times bigger than what they actually use. It's huge. All of these IP addresses.
So how would you think that this would possibly be related? This 60,000, do you think that it's a secret group that has their own set of, own set of addresses and own set of websites that are completely secret? Or how would that work, being our tech guy?
Yeah, so if this is a group that is, in the dark, that's running around doing both, I guess, physical and electronic things, on the cyber side, they would need technology, and maybe that's what that IP space is for.
That is so flippin' weird. It says over the half the force is said to consist of special operations, troops operating in countries across the globe, including countries in West Africa and even North. And it says intelligence specialists engaged in the collection of information, counterintelligence, and linguists are reportedly its second largest contingent. Other personnel make up a cyber army engaged in cyber warfare and intelligence collection, and are often or are even reportedly working to manipulate social media. No, couldn't be. It says in a legal practice, the United States has repeatedly accused countries like Russia, China, and engaging in. The program is said to be known as, quote, signature reduction, and is an estimated 10 times bigger than the CIA's clandestine operations division. 10 times bigger.
That's huge.
So this is bigger than the CIA's special people.
Yeah, 10 times. It's like the CIA times 10.
That's
huge.
Incredible. It says some 130 companies are said to be involved, with nearly $1 billion in taxpayer money spent on the creation of fake documents, the payments of bills and taxes, and the construction of complex false identity. Bank and credit card companies are said to be made to look the other way for the secret army's soldiers while searching for illegal activities such as fraud and money laundering. So when somebody who is in that department I'm here to catch fraud and catch credit card scams, they find one of these secret soldiers, they said, oh, just skip that page. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, Steve. Go to sleep, Steve. It's exactly what they say. And yes, they are all named. Steve. The program also reportedly includes a major component for the defeat of modern identification and biometric systems, including fingerprinting and facial recognition, not just abroad, but in the United States itself. The covert initiative reportedly has access to the U.S. intelligence community's grab bag of real, counterfeit, altered foreign passports and visa, as well as what's known as a cover acquisition management system. A previously never reported on register of false identities logging the mechanisms used by operators. Incredible stuff. This is spy world here. Along with the alteration of foreign documents and the defeat of foreign security systems. The Secret Army's operators reportedly accesses and makes changes to U.S. customs and immigration databases to ensure fake identities match up so the program's soldiers can safely return to the U.S. without raising. That is so nuts. And we all knew this, right? But this is beyond like secretive. This is like, they're saying that this is such a big thing that there's 60,000 super spies running around that when they pop up on something, it works. This is exactly what I've been talking about. When I talk about sleeper cells and all of this, when they can make passports, when they can make all this stuff, like I said, when they hacked into Louisiana and Florida, that's their super spies breaking into our systems and logging in and making a fake account, say hacking into, say, Louisiana sewage plant, right? Or say something in sewage. Somebody who hacks into their HR at the sewage company in, say, Louisiana. This is just an example. And they get into their HR. They're able to not only make a person, make their backstory, make when they were hired, who their supervisors were, and that they were just transferred to their office, and make their clearance passes, their security clearance, make their of course, their badges and things like this, to where they can go into very sensitive areas, government buildings, for gosh sakes, because these are state government workers that are going into these government buildings and fixing sewage or whatever it may be. And nobody thinks twice about it because, oh, it's just maintenance coming here to do their job. They're vetted. They're they go through all the appropriate checks. They've got the clearance. But what if they're not? What if they were hacked? They made all of their identities and it's all fake. That's the thing. This is what these guys do, but these guys do it for the good guys, right? At least supposed good guys. These are the guys who go in other countries and infiltrate for 8 years and then take over countries. These guys are the ones that help other countries get who they want in charge, if you know what I mean. So it sounds like this is pretty huge. I wonder what's going to come out. It says that the Secret Army reportedly includes a Special Access Programs, or SAP, section which contains secrets about the tools and methods used to trick foreign security systems, fingerprinting and facial recognition components, with SAPs including unassuming names such as Hurricane Fan, Island Hopper, and Peanut Chocolate. One retired senior officer boasted to Newsweek about America's alleged superiority over its rivals in the war to defeat the transparent world. It says, we're winning this conflict, and it says, including on the cyber side, even if secrecy about what we are doing makes the media portrayal of the Russians again look like they are 10 feet tall, he suggested. So it says another unnamed senior former officer from the program admitted to the magazine that presently nobody actually knows how big the signature reduction program really is. It says the official added that everything from the status of the Geneva Conventions were a soldier operating under false identity to be captured by the enemy to congressional oversight is problematic when it comes to this secret force. That's incredible. Thank you. Who said that? Somebody said, get the thumbs over 1,000. Thank you guys. I really, really and humbly appreciate that. We don't ever ask for people to do the like button. Thank you for those of you who remind others to do it, because it is a reminder thing. I always, whenever somebody says, press the like button, I then do it because I forget. So thank you. Again, Rose Froman says 778. Well, thank you guys for doing that. Green Bay Lady, Marone, Susan Plu. We've got Fergadocious, Samantha Enriquez, Shannon, Michigan. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that's here so far. Connie Easley says there's also a silent army, but it's hush-hush. A silent army, but it's hush-hush. Thank you, Connie. And then Lisa K, thank you for the support. You didn't even leave a comment there. Thank you. Again, I don't know if usually you're over on DLive. Total Vagabonds, thank you again. Bluegrass Red May, I do appreciate that. And then we've got Corp over on DLive. Scooby-Doo Do Right. We've got Uper Viking says Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. That sounds so familiar. Carolina Roots, thank you so much. I thought there was like a Carolina Roots 74 there. Uper, thank you. Defrustrated, Vault 1111. Odin 7777777777777. Thank you for following. And maybe if you could reduce the sevens in your name. Vashadow, Bear Claws, and may the force of God be with us, says Carolina Roots. Amen to that. AR-15 says, hello, Marf Dex, and thank you for everything y'all report. Way better than mainstream media. Well, thank you, AR-15, for the Ninja Genie. I appreciate that. And Defrustrated, thank you, everybody that's here already. Brandon Henschel, thank you for your support, man. It really does. I do appreciate it. From creator to creator, I hope you are doing well, and I hope your show is blowing up. Shook Star and Scooby-Doo Do Right. Again, thank you. Hop and Sin, everybody that is here already. I do appreciate you. A little bit over 3,000 on YouTube. I thank you guys so freaking much. Now it says, Russia warns West against Arctic encroachment ahead of talks. Now, Dex, I'm going to go over to you. I want you to tell me your opinion on this. Obviously, we've been covering the Arctic situation as well. And if people are under a rock, what are they doing over there in Russia? Or I'm sorry, in the Arctic?
Well, they've been investing heavily. I mean, we covered in one of our shows all of the military equipment they put in. It almost looks like bases and expansion of bases, airfields, and things like that in the Arctic. But the one thing that's interesting is that they're actually coming out and being very proactive in their statement, saying, "Hey, as this, as the climate adjusts." If things change up here, don't y'all start going for land grabs. They're basically saying don't do it. So, because I guess the opinion is it makes it more accessible as it becomes more accessible. They don't want anybody else up there.
Now, we've definitely seen a lot of weird stuff. They have been doing kind of explosion things where subs pop out of nowhere. We've seen a lot of satellite images of them having new technology such as tracked tanks, these weird kind of there's even one that has like snowshoes. I'm not even kidding you. It's like a AT-ST from Star Wars. Wonder if I have one to look at, a smaller one. I telling you, I just saw a picture of something that Russia has that looks, no joke, like this. Most of you guys have seen an AT-ST, but think about that. And instead of a laser, it would be, something like a 50 cal. How crazy is that? And apparently they have like huge feet, robotic feet, and it's better because of the weight of it. They can, basically carry these big weapons, have a rider or remote control, and go across surfaces. Now, if it's a questionable surface, they can do it all by remote. Why would they be doing that, though? What is going to happen in the future of the Arctic? Why are they so heavily investing in it? Why in WW2 did Germany invest in, going up to the Arctic? Are they planning something? Do they expect something to happen where they're going to need it? I don't know. But it says Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Monday warned Western countries against staking claims in the Arctic as global makes the region more accessible and a site of global competition. It says Lavrov's comment came ahead of the ministerial meeting of the Arctic Council and comprises Russia, the United States, Canada, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, and Iceland on Wednesday and Thursday in Reykjavik. It says it has been absolutely clear for everyone for a long time that this is our territory. This is our land, Lavrov said in a press conference in Moscow. We are responsible for ensuring our Arctic coast is safe, he said. It says as climate and then, of course, changes make the Arctic more accessible, global interest in the region's natural resources, its navigation routes, and its strategic positions has grown among members of the Arctic Council, as well as China. It says Vladimir Putin in recent years has made Russia's Arctic region a strategic priority and ordered investment in military infrastructure and mineral extraction, exacerbating tensions with the Arctic Council members. The United States, for its part, has pushed back against what it considers Russia and Chinese aggressivity in the region. In 2018, the U.S. Navy deployed an aircraft carrier in the Norwegian Sea for the first time since the 1980s. And in February, Washington sent strategic boomers to train in Norway as part of Western efforts to bolster its military presence in the region. It says Lavrov on Monday says he was emphasizing, once again, this is our land and our waters. So what do you guys think? Why do you think that they are up there? And I would love many different opinions here. Quote, when NATO tries to justify its advance into the Arctic, this is probably a slightly different situation. And here we have questions for our neighbors like Norway, who are trying to justify the need for NATO to come into the Arctic, he said. The Russian foreign minister said, we will talk about this frankly at the 8-country ministerial meeting and suggested resuming a regular dialogue between military chiefs of member countries. The council is expected to issue a final communique. A final and common strategic plan for the next decade at the end of the meeting. As ice cover in the Arctic decreases, Russia is hoping to make use of the Northern Sea Route shipping channel, to export oil and gas to overseas markets. Russia has invested heavily to develop the route, which allows ships to cut the journey to Asian ports by 15 days, compared by using the traditional Suez Canal route. Isn't that funny, Dex, that they mentioned that? So that is their other option, right? So that way cuts the route of the Suez Canal. And if the Suez Canal just say happened to get blocked, they would have a route through there, but nobody else would. Wouldn't that be kind of a military advantage?
Yeah, and certainly they've got a
One they
lot
control.
of land access up there.
And this would be directly controlled and owned by Russia. It seems like all of the different countries are really land grabbing right now. Does it not?
Yeah, it seems to me like everyone's out to get their land and get their waterways and take control over it, whether it's, the South China Sea. We've talked about the Suez Canal, not just the blockage, but we've talked about China even setting up a base nearby the choke point that would go in from the southern area to the Suez Canal, right? And obviously, Russia wants to control these waters up in the north near the Arctic because they want to be able to control that so that they're not locked out.
So they would have complete advantage militarily with having their own channel and their own, canal, right? If something happened to the Suez, then the United States would have to go all the way around Africa if they were not able to go through this other one, right? I don't know. There's got to be something there. Jesse Pinkman drives in a Ninja Guinea and says, love you guys. Hey, thank you, Jesse Pinkman. Thank you for your support. We are truly independent. We do not have a multi-channel network, so thank you, and thank you. Let's see here. Stan Strong Woman says, thanks to all you do and Dex and the mod team. Marvelous mods. That is awesome. Thank you. It's a big land grab by the ocean, says Jesse Pinkman. Yes, it is, and thank you again. Now, what do you think about this? I'm going to go over to the chat, of course. But first, if you want to protect yourself against an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse, or a solar flare, or the natural kind called CME, I would highly recommend going over to EMP Shield. We have been serious about this. As a personal belief, there's a reason why we work with these people. We actually recommended them before we ever knew that they had an affiliate program. In fact, we started recommending them when the Department of Homeland Security suggested that every single man, woman, and child in the United States should have anywhere from 6 months to a year of food, of water, just in case we have our power go out. Why would it go out? Well, because of the threat of EMP or a CME. Either one of those ways, if it knocks down our grid, they say 90% of us would perish. Not because it would, everything would blow up and we'd all die, because of the lack of fresh water and the access to necessities. So again, if you want to personally protect yourself, there is a professional device, a device that the military is using, a device that the DOD, that the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, mentioned this company by name in that report to the president. You can actually get the same kind of protection for your home or for even your car. Their best-selling model is for the car, and what it does is it grounds the actual signal before it fries your device, your car, your home. Again, the car model actually grounds it to your frame. So if you want to get one of these, go over to marfooglenews.com/EMP. Right now, there is still the contest. You actually have some time left. Go over to marfooglenews.com/contest if you want to enter. There's multiple ways to enter, including daily bonus entries, because these things are not cheap. They are the real deal. It is real protection against this. So again, if you want to try to win one, go over to marfooglenews.com/contest. We are actually running this along with EMP Shield and Israeli News Live. Okay. And then, oh man. Microsoft had Mr. Gilly Bates probed for a relationship, DJ says. Now, if you didn't know, of course, Mr. Gates got just basically announced a quick divorce here, and everybody's wondering why. Then stuff comes out about his kind of affair. Now they say that it's actually been over a year, and Microsoft Corporation's directors started a probe into BG's alleged involvement with a female employee that was deemed inappropriate, and decided that the co-founder had to step down from the board last year, Dow Jones reported, citing people familiar with the matter. So, Dex, I'm actually seeing multiple things. So there's other headlines that are now saying that it wasn't why he stepped down. If you remember when he actually stepped down, there was also the big CEO exodus of 2020 and 2019, and there was lots of weird stuff. People were stepping down even though they basically had a cush job. 23-year-olds were stepping down. All these CEOs were leaving. And at that point, Mr. BG left his post. He stayed on some other stuff, but he left Microsoft. And, everybody was kind of questioning why, especially if he was still going to be kind of working full time. Dex, what do you think about this? As far as do you think that's why he stepped down? It seems to me like this is going to be big news and everybody's going to be distracted looking at him. We should be looking at what he's involved with.
Well, yeah, I totally agree. This is, on one hand, could be sort of like revisionist in the sense that, let's go back and we'll say this thing was going on, or actually it could have been going on because he left before it was actually completed. At least that's what they're claiming. Now, I mean, the source on this is Bloomberg and Yahoo, so they're pretty much mainstream as you're going to get. I totally agree. We need to be looking a little bit more deeper than just this, but it is interesting that you're going to see more and more of these excuses to try to validate a traditional reason for this couple to split, right? As opposed to some of the more non-traditional thoughts that are running through everyone's minds about what's going on, right?
Well, yeah, I saw a what was it, it was a poll, I think it was by Crowder, that said who were the pants in the relationship, and it had Bill, it had Melinda, and then it had Jeffrey. EpiPen. And it was like 90% of the 2,000 votes or 200,000 votes were for EpiPen. Who knows what other things happened here that did this? If you want to read the rest of this article, it has some interesting stuff down there. Again, a lot of mainstream is saying that it did have something to do with it, and that's why he stepped down. And then some say that it is not why, and he just stepped down because he was feeling good, or maybe he wanted to go to Hawaii with his new employee. I don't know. And then it says the sun is getting stormier, and it will peak just in time for a total solar eclipse. For all we've learned about the sun, our home star remains shrouded in mystery. Now, after even 7 years of relative calm, the sun is set to become more temperamental, and a fleet of sun-gazing spacecraft are ready to watch as it awakens. Those spacecraft are offering scientists an unprecedented chance to study our stormy star and the ways that it can affect our cosmic neighborhood. So when I look at articles like this, I kind of think about how this could set up in mainstream. This is National Geographic, so a lot of people read this. This sets it up in the minds of people and then gets spread out and gets spread along. And this is a seed. Like I said, the seeds get spread and then it's in the back of your head for later. It says, like broods of cicadas that periodically emerge and vanish, the sun cycles between periods of storms and slumber over the course of 11 years or so. And it says that these cycles are linked to the sun's internal magnetic activity and are betrayed by telltale phenomena such as sunspots and solar flares. Scientists keep a close eye on the sun's temperament because solar outbursts can wreak havoc on the power grids and communication systems here on Earth, technologies that are vital for modern civilization, as well as any human and robotic explorers in orbit and beyond. But understanding the invisible threads that tie the sun and its planetary system has been tricky. It says, quote, when I step back as an innocent bystander, I think, how the heck can we possibly know as much as we do, says NASA solar physicist James Kilmchuk. But there's a tremendous amount more that we don't understand. Now the next solar cycle has ignited with peak activity predicted around 2025. Does that trigger anybody right here? Dex, what do you think of when you think of the year 2025?
Well, that's the date. I mean, that's the year a lot of things we're pushing towards getting certain things done by, right?
What the hell are they expecting? And if you watch like Suspicious Observers or someone like that, you may think, maybe they're expecting kind of the next, micronova or something like that, which again, just have to clarify that I believe is debatable. It's or at least it's not 100% proven that they exist, but most people say that that's something that should be looked into. It says now the next solar cycle is ignited, peak activity predicted around 2025, and this time the sun will shake off its slumber while NASA's Parker Solar Probe is continuously dive booming the sun, swooping closer to the star than any craft has yet dared. It still gives me goosebumps when I think about it, says NASA's holy moly. I think I did a marvelous job, actually. A solar physicist, I think I stayed on at NASA headquarters for one and only one mission, and that is Parker Solar Probe. The ESA's, the European Space Agency's solar orbiter, is also looping around the sun, and it will ultimately deliver our first good observations of the sun's poles. Until this mission, scientists mostly have been limited to scrutinizing the faces of the sun that we can see from Earth, and observing its poles is crucial for understanding its magnetic activity and the intensity of activity during each 11-year cycle. I don't know. Pretty crazy. And then final point is that perhaps even more thrilling for space fans, the peak of this cycle is expected to happen very close to the time of a total solar eclipse. Will be visible from North America in April 2024. One thing I think of Jacob Israel when I think this, because there's got to be some sort of biblical sign that goes along with this. If you guys haven't seen Jacob Israel, make sure to go over there and subscribe. He's an awesome, awesome guy on and off camera. Yeah, Dex, that's pretty crazy. And it's lining up with a solar eclipse. I'm going to go over to chat here, and then we're going to talk about China's newly landed Mars rover, Zhurong, likely to roll into action this weekend. Or so they say. Jesse Pinkman says, I have the car model. It's amazing. Lisa K23, my car guy calls my EMP shield a gizmo. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, both of you, for putting that out there. And let's see here. The truth is out there. It says, it's all smoke and mirrors. Keep your eyes focused. Truth is out there. I agree with you. Jesse Pinkman says, spread love to Sexy Dexy. Jesse, well, thank you. And Dex, thanks to you as well. Earth Observer says, yep, we are living in a Marvel movie. I believe that. And then Jesse Pinkman says, Mahata Mahamambaba. I think that's how you pronounce it. Dropped a thumb over on YouTube. Thank you, Lisa K, and thank you for popping over. I really do appreciate that. Duck Hawk, thanks for being here. Barbara Rowe is here. Pete1959 just followed. Thank you as well. If you subscribe during the show, you will get a shout out. And then Bear Claws and Tracy, thank you so much. Priscilla R, I wish people could research, but all has changed. That is very true. Uper Viking and, of course, Priscilla R coming in with a Ninja Guinea says, this is coming from the central makers who own the world we live in. They need to be gone. King5583 says, thanks, Marf and Dex, and thanks to the guys' wives for letting you to be able to do this for us. Thank you, our fam. Roaming Wolf, I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, everybody that is supporting the show. That is appreciated. So it says, and I know there's some of you that don't believe this. Again, love to hear your opinions in the chat and in the comments down below. But it says, China's newly landed Mars rover Zhurong likely to roll into action. It says China's first ever Mars rover will, of course, roll into this weekend, and if everything goes according to plan. It says the six-wheeled robot, part of China's Tianwen-1 mission, touched down Friday evening on the vast Martian plain Utopia Planitia. That was closer. The rover, known as Zhurong, Zhurite. Zhurite to be wrong. Has remained atop its landing platform ever since, but it won't be for much longer. Zhurong will spend its first 7 to 8 days on the Martian surface, studying its surroundings and performing checkouts of its systems and instruments. China's state-run Xinhua news agency reported shortly after touchdown that citing an official at the China National Space Administration, or CANSA, is that really? I think that's how you would say it, right? Because NASA, they're apparently CNSA, CANSA. If that schedule holds, the rover would roll down the lander's twin ramps and touch Mars' red dirt for the first time on Monday or Saturday. It says we haven't seen any photos taken by Zhurong yet because it feels Zhurite, but those are likely coming soon as well. The rover's traveling companion, the Tianwen-1 Mars orbiter, had been circling the red planet every 48 hours, but it recently maneuvered itself into a much lower orbit with an 8.2-hour period, which is better suited for relaying large amounts of data between Zhurong and mission control here on Earth.
And I hear next week they're planning to run into Perseverance and set off robot conflict in Mars.
Is that a joke or?
It was a joke.
Okay.
I was gonna use the TV show, but I can't say that word. So robot conflict. Ugh.
No, then don't even. You should have just said robot wars. Anyways,
I was going to, and then it just totally blew me off. It totally messed me up. So yeah, but no, yeah.
Not too many people.
That if they run into each other, or if they see each other, and we get footage from one rover to another.
Wait. Yeah, hold on. See, if we had time to do this before, it's like that would have been so funny to be like. To be like, this is the moment that China, that Zhurong and Perseverance met. It's like, oh wait, there was an actual shot from it. Yeah, that's great. Yes, this was Mars. Tornado is Perseverance, and the lawnmower there is Zhurong.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And, Perseverance first said, love you, Zhurong time. Or wait, no, I screwed it up. Love Zhurong time. I didn't realize. I didn't tell. Okay. Jason Bourne anyone says Corp. Scooby Doo right? Jesse Pinkman, love you guys. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. Do they? Why are they doing? They did the far side of the moon. I know that there are some people that just don't even believe any of this is going on, and I don't blame you. Honestly, we've been lied to our entire lives. How do we know? And why don't they have just like straight up? Can't they do full on like uninterrupted video at high quality and then just send it back in packets? Why does it have to be like, it will be a high definition photo, but it will be one or a couple high definition photos. They just need to like record the whole process so people can see it like from beginning to end, so they know it can't be faked, It'd be great. I would love it because it would put some of that to rest, but there's just so much weirdness around it. Tall drink of water. Thanks for coming in, and it's nice to see you pop into chat. Desert Ghost says, do Sue wrongs make a right? Do Sue wrongs make a right? No, they do not. They make a baby Zoo wrong. Yeah. That was just such a bad joke. I'm done. All right, I'm back. And gold advances as investors weigh bond yields, retail sales. Gold climbed for a third day as investors weighed fluctuation in bonds yields and stall in U.S. retail sales, along with the latest series of lockdowns in Asia to curb spiking CV. So another thing, gold is basically, what was it at 1800? Anytime everything else takes a poop, this goes up. Dex, I know I'm not into the Bitcoin thing, especially since Dorsey is like super wanting everybody to get on Bitcoin, and it's like, if Dorsey likes it, I don't. But again, I've always liked gold and silver and precious metals that you can actually hold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dorsey's talking about it.
Yeah,
I don't follow Dorsey, but yeah, I follow Elon. But yeah, totally.
Dorsey's all about. He says that Bitcoin will change the world for the better, and he's like super defensive over it. I mean, am I wrong?
It doesn't surprise me with him. Yeah, totally doesn't surprise me with him. But yeah, just the way the economics work, when there's a few buckets out there and money sort of moves around between them. So when the stock market's not doing good, you'll see money shift over to something else, an alternative, right? Whether it's real estate or, precious metals in this example, or crypto. And when crypto doesn't do good, you'll see maybe the stock market will flip money back over there, or it'll flip money into precious metals. So it kind of bounces around. And I think it's not financial advice, but I've always said, like, if you're spread around through it, then you can sort of weather the ups and downs of all of them, right? But yeah, this is no surprise, because we've always said, as if the economy goes south, if the mainstream things start to look bad, things like precious metal and gold, silver, et cetera, will be going up, and even silver's up too. And you would expect it to be. If gold's going to go up, silver's going to go. They're all going to go up.
Well, and you know that I've been looking into it as far as I think, like, if all the computers are gone and off, yes, items. People say, oh, well, gold won't even have value because you'll want items. You'll want toilet paper, or you'll want salt, or you'll want water to trade, or whatever. It'll be like Water World. You might even need a rear view mirror, because the kids are going to go, oh my gosh, it's a mirror. That was a Water World reference, by the way. But I do think that gold will have a value no matter what. I honestly do. And that's why I've been actually, thinking that, I don't know. I want to make a video showing you why I don't like the Bitcoin thing. I know that we have a ton of Bitcoin people and a lot of crypto people, and a lot of my friends are crypto people. You're a crypto person, or at least you know about it a lot. And I don't like it. I never have. I think it makes everything digital, and they say that it's impossible to do. I like something that you can hold and trade and cut a piece off of and give to somebody, and that works as, something. That's what money used to be backed by. And now there is nothing that's like real and tangible. It's all digital. It sounded like you wanted to say something there, but if you don't.
Well, no, I was going to say even money at this point is digital, with the exception of the cash in your pocket, right? Like most Americans, most people, probably a large majority of them. I know there's still plenty of cash-only folks out there, but they swipe a card every day, and that's all digital, and their cash is sitting in a bank, and it's digital. It's at least digital in the sense that they're not peeling off dollar bills every time they go buy something, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm just, I don't know. I want to put together my thoughts so I don't sound like an idiot saying, I don't like new things. I don't like new things at all. And new things suck. I'm going to put my thoughts together.
Dude, it definitely, I mean, there's pros and cons for it. I mean, there's definitely enough cons around the whole notion of, resets and one world type economies and singular currency, stuff like that can scare the heck out of anybody, right? And so I totally understand.
Well, wait a second. If everything went to blockchain, would that be like a one world thing?
Well, it's not that it could be. It just depends on how it's done, right? But the governance is what matters. So a good example is you look at China, right? They had crypto, and then China threw it all out and said, no, we're not going to allow any of that here. But by the way, we're going to run our own crypto. So they ran their own crypto, and now it's run by the government. So it sort of takes away the whole notion of it being decentralized. They just basically digitized everything and said, we'll do our own crypto. And we'll mine everything that's out there too, because we want to make money off it, but we're not going to allow our people to use it.
I bet you Xi Jinping was like, are there cameras on it? And they were like, no, there's no cameras. Can we add cameras? No, not to this one. Can we destroy it and make it again with cameras? Technically, I think we could. Okay, let's make one with cameras on it. I want lots of cameras. Because that's how Xi Jinping rolls. Zhu Rong, Jing. Undercover Prepper, thank you for your support of the channel. And then, of course, Happy Hippie Crochet says, we love you, Adam, Dex, and mods. Hashtag beanies for the homeless. Hashtag Jesus Fugel fam. Snafu crew grew its gang. And the Ann Lynn show. And Real GS News. That's awesome. I love that he's getting involved. Eddie Mitchell, thank you. Gypsy Daisy says, the time glitch is causing many grocery items to expire before kids eat them, or before my kids eat them. Feels like I'm losing days and weeks. I'm not insane. Something is weird. Okay, so Gypsy Daisy talking about the time, as far as time moving faster, says the time glitch is causing many grocery items to expire before my kids even eat them. It's weird. I'm telling you, it's. I don't even think the store knows because their Safeway has Cheap Chicken Monday and they had their stuff out. It was expired for 3 days, and I'm like, hey, this is expired since Tuesday, and they're whoops, the whole display, and I'm like, how did you miss a whole display from Cheap Chicken Monday? I just feel like they it just boom like that. It says we have a universal protection unit that is fighting for humanity that the general public doesn't know about, says Lady T. Lady T is talking about the 60,000 member secret army. Says it's a universal protection unit. Or maybe, I'm guessing that's her, what she's saying. Stephen McMahon says, my girl, Livia, wants to see you guys in Speedos. Why'd you laugh so loud?
I don't know. It was just funny.
You thought of yourself in a Speedo.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I'm just like, not happening.
No. I don't know.
At least I wasn't thinking of you in a Speedo.
Okay. Moving on. Lil Red, thank you for the mic. Wolves 55, thank you for the super chat. I don't even know what it is, though. I can't see. It's so small. It says cool. That is awesome. Amy R, hey, thanks for stopping by. Says, don't forget the non-terrestrial deployed military that was uncovered by Snowden. So that's actually part of what I was talking about, the non-terrestrial soldiers. Non-terrestrial means they're not on Earth. Those are soldiers that are not here. And this is way before Space Force. That was back in 2012, 2013. It's like there's all this stuff that we are not told about. It's kind of crazy.
Apparently, they're the ones doing 600 Gs, right?
Apparently, maybe that whole line of non-terrestrial soldiers are hitting high Gs at 13,000 miles per hour. Reach out to Cliff High, please. Says shiny future for us. I guess that's a name, Cliff High. I will look it up. Veteran. I don't know if that's a new. I always think of Veteran Steve. That's actually cool. You got just Veteran. Marv, keep up the good work. Thank you. And then Sir Budrick says, and except for the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but the elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened the days. Sir Budrick, are you actually saying that the shortened days might actually be biblical? Pretty nuts. Super sticker from Lisa K. Thank you so much. And again, Kate Paul says, Bills this week. Oh, don't worry about that. Thank you, Kate Paul from Canada. Appreciate that. Everybody that's also popped in here. And then I'll get those newer ones in a minute here. Okay, so we're about to get into this stuff. So I'm going to hit this we're going to try to hit this pretty quickly. So we're going to sum this up. The is military, and anytime I say is, it is this, okay? So is or is military targets home of the Ga, is and Ga, okay? Now you know what we're talking about. Is military targets home of Ga's top Hamas leader. It says the Israeli military, and Sunday says it has targeted the home of Ga's top leader after nearly a week of heavy airstrikes and rocket fire into Is from the territory ruled by the Is military militant group. And then, of course, it says Brigadier General Hadai Zilberman, an Army spokesman, told Iz's Army radio Sunday that the military targeted the home of Yahya Sinwar, the most senior leader in Hamas inside the territory, who is likely in hiding along with the rest of the group's upper echelon. His home is located in the town of Khan Yunis in southern strip of Gaza. It says Hamas and the Is a militant group have acknowledged 20 fighters killed since the fighting broke out Monday, while Is says the real number is actually far higher. So it says that has carried out hundreds of airstrikes across the impoverished and blockaded territory and brought down a number of high-rise buildings, including the one that housed the Associated Press. Now, Associated Press and Al Jazeera, I believe, and some others. But one thing that people are leaving out, and I know that this is a very tainted subject in general because people are split down the middle, but they gave them... people say, oh, they only gave them an hour notice. Just in general, that's one of the few cases where I've actually heard of any warning and an actual warning where there was no warning in return, right? Another thing that is conveniently left out is that same office also housed their military intelligence. And some believe that they use that on purpose and use that building on purpose as a human shield, saying they wouldn't just do it without warning. And they were kind of right. They gave them an hour warning. They also said that there were actual missiles held there. I don't know if that's true. Dex, do we have confirmation that there were missiles housed in that actual building?
No, I do not.
Okay, so that is not confirmed as far as we go. But I do know that there's two sides to every story. For the people that are rooting for this side and for the people that are rooting for that side. A lot of people are rooting for a side just because of their religion. I say that there is so much corrupt stuff going on right now. If you're not physically over there and you don't personally have family that are on either side, then I don't think even anybody can really judge right now because only the upper echelons know what's really going on, and there's a lot of corrupt stuff. And the actual place might be holy, but some of the stuff that's going on in the government isn't necessarily amazing. So, if you hate that, then I am sorry. I think both sides, there's something much bigger brewing in that there's much bigger forces at hand. Who knows, maybe 60,000 secret employees are doing something over there. We don't know. And then, of course, they struck Gaz tunnels as truth efforts remain elusive. It says, out of the Gaza Strip, it says the IS military unleashed another heavy wave of airstrikes Monday on the Gaza Strip, saying it destroyed militant tunnels and the homes of 9 commanders. International diplomacy to end the week-long conflict that has killed hundreds appeared to make little headway. IS has said that it will press on for now with its attacks against the militant group that rules Gaza Strip. And the United States signaled it would not pressure the two sides for a ceasefire, even as President JB said he supported one. And then it goes into, you can finish this over at marfooglenews.com about the actual targets that have been hit. It basically goes through a list of them. And then we have the White House breaks allies by not urging Hamas ceasefire. So, Dex, what's going on here? So basically, a lot of our allies are saying, hey, we need to step in and basically give our opinion on this, and we're not. We're not even joining calls right now, right?
Yeah, it seems like they called it quiet diplomacy, but they're not getting involved, or at least not taking a position in it, and especially around the notion of a cease. And so that's kind of interesting. It's what we were just saying in the other article, but this is it. The White House is saying, hey, we're not necessarily going with the allies here, and we're not going to urge, this. So
basically, they're trying to publicly stay out of it. I think probably because they have some of their secret guys over there or something pulling strings. I don't know. This is too much of a bigger thing for.
Well, we send money to both, right?
Well, I know. So what is really going on? That's why I said this could all be some big distraction. Everybody is talking about the Middle East. It's not. It triggers fears of WW3, but for the wrong reasons. Like over there, this stuff happens so much, but now the big worry is that this isn't going to stop even after they said this has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. But now it's because all of this other stuff going on around the world, in combination with everything else, I think we should be looking two other ways. But what do you guys think? Let me know your opinion. I love to hear it. Again, I know that everybody here matters, so let me know. Real quick, need to plug NordVPN. It really does help when you guys end up going over to any of our sponsors. NordVPN is a virtual private network. It can basically put you somewhere else. It actually hides your IP address. Your IP address is the address of your actual internet connection. So when you're at home, that IP address can actually lead people directly to your home or to your phone or to anything else. Or it can make them basically able to hack into you. Again, to your credit card information, your saved Amazon stuff, all your goodies. So if you want to protect yourself, I highly recommend putting a virtual private network kind of wall in between. This is one of the easiest you can get. You can go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. All sorts of benefits from this, including getting locked content from around the world. If you want to put yourself somewhere else, you'll actually open up different doors on the internet. Go to marfooglenews.com/VPN and use the special code Marfoogle to get an entire year free when you do their 2-year plan. Again, that is marfooglenews.com/VPN. Every purchase you get a humongous discount on, also supports our tiny channel. So thank you. And I'm going to throw in one more thank you. You couldn't see it, but when I said thank you, I did this face. Thank you. Good enough? I thought it was good. And, of course, the Air Force Navy say that they have struck submarine near Ga Coast. Did you know they even had a submarine?
I
did not. No, I
mean,
did
this
not.
is like news to me.
I didn't know if they were talking about a sandwich or an actual military item here. The sandwich would have to be pretty big.
There's no real evidence. The only evidence is that they said they did it. So I'm not sure, what to make of this, because I was even doing research to try and find out if they really had one.
Today, using aerial reconnaissance and the Navy, the IDF spotted several suspects on a vessel believed to be a submersible weapon. The vessel was being taken to the coast, presumably to carry out a T attack in Israel waters. Some time ago, Navy... Whoa. What about the Indian missing sub? I wonder what happened to that.
They found that.
Okay, they found that.
Unfortunately, they perished, yeah.
Oh, that's right. They were trapped down there. Okay, wasn't there another missing sub in the last 3 years? Or maybe theirs is so ghetto, this is just a sunken boat. Maybe that's what they call a submarine. Or it's
off a yacht.
It's
right?
just a really crappy boat. It's just not working.
One of those personal versions, like they have on the yachts, the rich people have. Maybe it's one of those. They could probably afford that.
I don't know. Or maybe like one of those Walmart boats that remote control. I don't know. Like a 2-pack. They don't even come by themselves. They come in a 2-pack, so you can go on a little pond and race with your kiddos. I don't know. Or maybe one of those ones that actually comes with like a figure 8 that they, you can do. I don't know. Convoy drives through London shouting F. Right? This is a big one. Okay. So I'm going to have you go to the website, but the point of showing you this is absolute proof that this conflict that is going on over the Middle East, just like when we had those New York protests that were clashing and you had one side clashing with another in the streets of New York, this is again another sign of this clash actually spreading out beyond their borders. This is another instance. Of course, this is Finchley Road, St. John's Wood, near a community. We have, let's see here, in London. So now we have at least 6 different activities going on in the United States, in Australia, and in London. 6 different events now have happened that basically have had this spill outside of it. So this is one of the biggest kind of back and forth because people are very fire hot about this. That is why we are letting you guys do your own due diligence. Go to the website. We have a lot more news there as well, marfooglenews.com. And it's just something that you really gotta be your own person on and go check out. Dex, the content on the website.
Well, the saga continues with what's going on in Arizona and Michigan, and eventually other places. Lots of other things going on. Some stuff from T-Man said about the former VPs. Some things with Elon and others, including something from Pompeo. We haven't heard from him in a while. So lots of interesting things, and definitely head over to marfooglenews.com, click on the thumbnail, scroll down, find the web-only content, and there is the rest of the story.
And Lori S., I want to personally thank you for heading over to PayPal during the show. We really do appreciate that. Thank you. For obvious reasons, that's just, I think they don't even really take much. So thank you. Tracy Q, for obvious reasons, that's awesome. Tracy Q, thank you for doing $1 over on PayPal. Thank you so much. Don B, thank you as well for going over there on to PayPal. So thank you guys. And you guys, none of you wrote a message. You can write a message just like a super chat over there if you feel like it. Again, it's not required, and it is very much appreciated. We are by ourselves here. Again, we have you guys as a backbone, so thank you. Our goal is to bring on way more people. I started this by myself. Now it's me and Dex. I hope that it can be like me and 10 other people. That's the goal here. All right. And then Dex. It's not a shoutro. What is it? What do we do at this point in the show?
It's not a shout out, right?
Yeah.
It's not an outro.
Yeah.
It's a shoutro.
I missed. Can you say that one more time? I missed the bar.
It's not a shout out.
It's not a shout. Okay.
It's not an outro.
It's not an outro.
It's a shoutro.
I like it. Thank you, Dex, for all of your service today. Thank you, everybody that is watching at home. Thank you, everybody over on DLive, including 100% Mo, says make Marf and Dex calendar. That's no. In Speedos. Defrustrated, DLive, slightly glitchy. Thank you, Marf and Dex mods, sffired.com. Life Learner, thank you for being here. 2 Gallon, everybody that subscribed tonight, thank you. If you do subscribe during the replay, I will shout you out tomorrow. Lisa K, Marf needs a garage for the Guineas. I hopefully won't need. We'll have a 2-car garage. Blingin' Grammy, L Luna 3377, Carolina Roots, Bear Claws, Nelly 14, Pam Beth, and Mama Jamma. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Dex, love you. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out.
Into some Marfoogle. If your brain turning into some noodles, turn yourself into some Marfoogle. As it drop it down, as it pink and all we dab it all the town. I've got the Earth Observer, everybody perfect. Bear Claws, Piggy, and Jesse Pinkman Lerner. And I've got Respiratory Jane and Life Learner. Kelly 14 and a burner. Everybody wanna serve her. Nothing to concern ya. Drop it down and murder. Now we all filled with murder. Bring the magnetic closure. doing what we supposed to. I've been not a devastated. Bear claws in a right miscoming. Just communicated in the blue light. Bring it Barbara Roll and Nashville star. Got a Sunday and a stone fantastic. Life learner and that too. Gallon back. Omar, Akarushi. Bring it right like some sushi. Patriot dog, I appreciate you. I've got the whiskey with the orange speedo. I got the holiday kisser and the Mr. Pedo. I get the mark on the chart and the Venus out. Simon, everybody wants him out. Blowtorch Bobby and the Lord Griffith. A little t-shirt stolen to everybody hippie. Bugnana and a Gwen Maravana. Bring it down, doing everything that you can. Drewski 420 and a Harry Ball. Thank you to the top 5 on D-Live. Definitely thank you, Miss Gone Girl 777, for everything you do. Amy R. made a guest appearance tonight. Thank you so much. Lady T says, Adam, check out the United Network News. I will, Lady T. Annie Rogers says, love you guys. Thanks for everything. By the way, we'll have calls tomorrow at 224-400-MARF. If you wanted to call in tonight, make sure to come by tomorrow. Jerry Carpinello Jr., your honesty is worth a lot more than I can give. Please keep the faith. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. Eddie Mitchell, happy hippie crochet. Gypsy Daisy. Thank you. Happy hippie crochet. Bring it all day, we say. Better go back my way. Two wrongs don't make a zoo right. Zoo 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 wrongs don't make a zoo right. Two wrongs don't make a zoo right. As I want. I just wanna be right. I gotta go, I gotta shine. Everything is okay.